see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No
Come
one
on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
We live, baby.
We're live.
No, I was
Like
waiting
it
for my guy
ended.
Millie, man, but y'all just but anyways, we are live, and we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast. And we're excited, man. We're happy today. You know what I'm saying? We really got a full, I don't know what happened to Millie. We had a full pod just 2 seconds ago, but maybe he'll be on. He does this. To be honest, he really does this. He actually gets on, but he really doesn't want to be on. So he's going to tell us in like 5 seconds that his computer malfunctioned. But it's all good.
Yeah.
Mills clock in and go back to his car and go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what he does. But
Hey,
shout
got
out
some
to
late packages rolling.
for sure. Shout out to the guys. We have our guy, Matty Ice. You know what I'm saying? AKA, I seen Matt the other day. Matt, what's up with you, man?
So much, man. You know, we're all together. About 24 hours ago, except for Mike, of course. But you know, that's another story for another day. We came together for a good day. Rad could talk about that, but just glad to be back with you guys.
All right, man. Let's go to our guy Rad, aka All Purpose Rad. Rad, man, what's up?
Man, what's good, y'all boys? Definitely like nice. Oh, my man Mills here. Let me app Millie. My boy Millie here. What's good, Millie? Yeah. It's good, man. I'm ready to talk football. It's a lot of people here, so I'm good. Let's go.
Absolutely. And you see him, yours truly, editor-in-chief. You heard a lot about him. He's been on a little hiatus, but he is back. Our guy, Mike D. Mike, what's up, man?
Man, you know what it is. Blood in, blood out. Once you gang, you always gang. I know I'm back.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm back.
Shout out to our guy, Mike. And Mills, I was just telling the people, you was trying to pull another Millie. You know what I'm saying? Come in and then next, oh my God, my computer broke. But he here. Well, shout out to our guys, Mills. Mills, what's up?
What's going on, man? Glad to be back with the gang, man. You already know what time it is.
Yes, we have a full compliment on the show, man. It's definitely, man, it's been a minute, but we excited because listen, man, all hands on deck, man. The season is starting, and we about the pod, man. We definitely bought the pod. But before we do that, Matt, please let the people know who is responsible for this show. Let the people know who's sponsoring this show.
Yes, sir. This episode and every other episode is brought to you by the good people at Buffalo Wing Kings. There's two things that guys, all of us guys here know at the Overdue Bills podcast. That's Bills football, and that's wings. Our first choice and the best choice is Buffalo Wing Kings. Hit them up. We got the season rolling around. Hit them up for your football parties, any gatherings you may have that you may need some wings. Hit up Buffalo Wing Kings. Stop down and see him at 484 Elmwood Avenue, or give them a call at 716-248-1427 and find out why they say, and we know they got the best wings in town, hands down. And make sure you enter, or make sure you let them know that the Overdue Bills podcast sent you. Get 10% off your order. You can also hit them on Uber Eats, DoorDash. My bad, son.
No, you good. You guys got to put that in there. Shout out to Buffalo Wing Kings. You know the vibes. So let's get a little bit of housekeeping out the way. OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com. All your Overdue Bills needs, man. Merch, articles. I'm sure the articles will be coming. Matt just dropped the 53-man roster projection. An amazing article. We're definitely going to get into it in a second. But, so please go to OverdueBillsPod.com. Listen, we need you to get all the merch now. You have to get it now. The season is starting. We want to see everybody. Listen, we're going to have a lot of those, a lot of great things coming this season, but we want to see the merch on social media, man. So if you got it, post it. You know what I'm saying? Put it on your Instagram, tag us, like, share, all those amazing so people can know that it's an Overdue Bills takeover this season. All right, and shout out to Buffalo fan base, man. We want you to like, share, rate and review, subscribe, do all of those amazing things because that helps us with the algorithms. You know, Elon Musk is releasing a car that can drive itself. So Overdue Bills need to release. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. There'll be no Tesla talk on this podcast. I apologize, mate.
Team GM.
I thought Apple was doing that. I thought Apple got a car coming.
I don't know. I Twitter tells you they lie. But anyways, shout out to all those things. So please like, share, rate, review. I'm sure somebody liked it. That's why I seen it because it was the algorithm. So like us so everybody can see our show. All right. With that being said, quick question. Let's get into the show. Quick question.
Hold on. Let's backtrack. I know we said we were all together, man. I kind of want Rad to be able to talk about why we all got together. If we got a second to do that too, just promote some good news and everything like that.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back here. Oh yeah. So yesterday, we had a nice event for my son, Asen. He got to ring the bell. You know, he kicked cancer butt. That was the logo. So Asen strong. So shout out to Asen. It was a good time. A lot of kids showed up. A lot of people showed up. So I thank everybody who showed up, everybody who showed love. It was a great event. Also, shout out to my kids. Shout out to my oldest, Asen. It was his idea, but he put all the kids into weeks. We started our own. He started his first business. It's called Rad Juice. So shout out to Rad Juice. We sparked it. It was sold out the first time. So you can hit us up. We should have pop-up. We're gonna be starting pop-ups everywhere, and you could do events and everything. So shout out to my son, Asen, Aiden, and my daughter, obviously, Rad Juice. All flavors, lemonade, juice, all different flavors, man. Hit us up.
Absolutely. Shout out to Rad Juice, second sponsor of the show. Y'all know the vibes. Absolutely, definitely was a great time. Definitely good to see everybody in good spirits. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was true to form. I know a lot of people hit me up like when the show starting, it starts late because of Rad. And if you was at the event, that started late because Rad is historically late. They're historically late. It's not. Listen, it's just not y'all. It's not the Overdue Bills audience. It's kind of everybody. Everybody gets the late treatment from the Radford tree. So shout out to all the Radfords out there.
You're always on time though, man. We always there when you need us.
Okay. Now he got it. Shout out to that. But listen, I did
that good all the time.
Right, yeah.
I did.
Rad did. Quick question of the day. Listen, Brandon Bean has been clearing cap space, y'all. Yep. He's been clearing cap space, right? Last time I checked, we was up to about 10 million. So my question to everybody, I'm going to Matt first. Matt, what are we doing with this cap space? Like what's going on?
Well, I think we said it in the beginning of camp and kind of when we were in the beginning of free agency. I think they are going to end up bringing in a veteran corner because Trey's on the PUP list. He's out for the first 6 games. I don't think that any of the young corners have shown that. We're gonna be young at both spots, right? So we got to get a veteran presence in there, despite having the best safety duo in football and guys that can play behind them. But it's just there's not a sure thing there yet at corner. So we got to bring in something there.
So, Rat, do you have a suggestion in mind, or do you feel the same way as Matt? And if so, do you have a suggestion in mind?
I mean, I don't know. I think he just. I mean, I guess it's good to have that space. You know what I mean? I don't think it's necessarily for a big signing or something. I think he understands that this next couple of days over like 1,000 people about to get cut. And he just want to have that flexibility to add some people he want to add and stuff like that. I think it's just for a rainy day type of feel. I don't know if it's like something we're targeting, but I mean everything he does is for a purpose. So I think Brandon Bean is purposeful. So we'll see. I don't got no suggestions right now, but I think it's more so for rainy days and these upcoming cuts.
So, Mike, you've been a Bean supporter in the past. So, do you think it's just okay? He's just doing this, or like does he have a goal in mind? Like it's obviously Super Bowl or bust this year. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think he has wasted moves. So, how do you feel about it?
I think it's similar to. I think you do this, Preach, and fantasy football where Fab. Right, you make your moves. You make sure you got some money towards the end of the season, so when you can make a move if you need one. Like you said, Super Bowl or bust. So if it come down to October and the trade deadline coming up or free agency or whatever, and we need to make one piece to get us over the hump. Like last year, we talked about Von Miller, and Rad and Matt told us that we didn't have the cap space. So maybe this year he said, no, we're not doing that this year. This year, when it's time to come and I need to pull a trigger, I want to make sure I got some money so I can do it. So I think that's what he's doing. But also, week one, I think veterans, their salaries are no longer guaranteed. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see somebody come in after Thursday.
Interesting. So, Mills, is it a situation where you see somebody on the free agent list, or you think he's just doing this? Obviously, Matt said there's going to be a lot of cuts that's about to happen in a day, any day now, and we can possibly pick somebody up that was just let go.
I'm pretty much echoing what everybody else said. I think our team, the way we're structured and the way we built our team, I think with the players we have right now, McDermott and Bean is confident in the boys we got out there. That we got confident in our safeties, and I think our cornerback play is strong enough to get us to where we need to go until Trey get back at the number 2 position. Like they said, I think it's just money for a rainy day, just in case. If something doesn't work out with those rookie cornerbacks, you got some money there just to bring somebody in if you needed to. But I think we're going to weigh it out and see what those young boys can do, and hopefully they can do real good.
Listen, I'm with y'all guys, but I think, for me, Brandon Beane is savvy enough. He has a goal in mind, and like we've been talking about. Listen, I'm just not too happy with the cornerback situation. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not too happy. I know we talked up Dane Jackson coming into the season, but I'm gonna be honest. I would feel better having Levi Wallace. I would. I would just feel a little bit better having a Levi Wallace, knowing that at least he was out there last year. He wasn't getting necessarily torched, but we don't have him. We did not re-sign him. I think that may not have been the best move, but I think Brandon Beane, like Matt said, we need to go out there and get somebody, whether it is somebody that's getting cut or whether it is a Joe Hayden, whether it is a Trey Wayne, somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? We need something because Christian Benford, Kyer Elam, and Dane Jackson is just not cutting it. But I don't know.
End of the season last year to become a number 1A, 1B corner.
Dane Jackson?
Year. He played solid. Absolutely.
I'm just saying from what we've seen from Dane Jackson, not this past game against the Panthers, but the game before that against the Broncos, for that first couple series, he was just getting torched, bro, by a no name. And I just is unacceptable. But listen, shout out to Swanson. I'm gonna try to play nice for the first. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna try to trash our corners, even though they're not good. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so let's do this. We got to talk about it because it was a huge topic. Punt God, Matt Araiza, got into some unfortunate trouble. Let's say this at the onset first, everybody involved in the situation. But the Buffalo Bills let him go, right? We got rid of Matt Hawk. We signed Matt Araiza. You gotta chill. We signed Matt Araiza, and obviously, unfortunately, a civil lawsuit happened against him, so on and so forth. So we don't necessarily want to harp on it because the Bills didn't harp on it, right? Sean McDermott, they didn't harp on this. They made a decision. They gave the answer for the decision. They moved forward. So Matt, do you have anything to kind of add or anything to say about the situation? Do you think the Bills did the right thing?
Yeah, I think they did the right thing, and I think even McDermott kind of touched in on it too, that there were some details that they overlooked and they missed in this scenario, and in what they were they weren't really forced to do it. They didn't have to do it, but they just made the move to kind of keep the culture, the way that it is. This is how it is. We're not going to let, one bad seed, ruin the locker room, I would say. But they made that move and did it early, which is what I was expecting them to do. Okay.
Mike, do you think it's a situation where we kind of listen, it's a lot of things going on. It's a crazy climate out there. Deshaun Watson's going through something. So do you think, are you happy that the Bills made this decision, right? I'll phrase it that way.
Happy, it's a stretch, but go ahead.
I mean, not I don't happy, but you're content with them making this decision.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been content if they would have cut him back in July or whenever they got the news. I mean, it's a punter. So
Right.
I know it's unfortunate that we look at it that way. That if this was Josh Allen would not have got cut Saturday.
Absolutely not.
I think we all can agree with to that. So that's why I kind of rolled my eyes when Matt talking about culture and whatnot. This had nothing to do with culture. This had nothing to do with none of that. If that was Von Miller, if that was Ed Oliver, this would not be discussing. They'll still be in the locker room. They would have been getting some help. They'd have been the Lords would have been somewhere. So you can miss me with culture. It's a punter. They don't want to deal with the hassle. So
yeah,
unfortunately, goodbye.
He's expendable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's expendable, and that's just the unfortunate truth. The civil case is going to work out itself. I hope everybody necessarily gets whatever they need to kind of move forward and, with their lives. And even Matt Ariza, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, his career is derailed, and him and his family have to go through this tough time, right? Have to go to a real high, and I got to go to a real low now. And I even said in the beginning of the season that Matt Ariza was going to be the best rookie. And obviously I have to change my.
So you're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Well, I'm wrong in a sense because I didn't know that he had a case, but that's neither here nor there. We don't necessarily have to harp on it, but I will say this: there's been a lot of I don't know, I use this word lightly, a lot of good things coming out of the locker room. Mitch Morris said that this brought the team together because they had an open dialogue about it, right? He gave interviews, said they talked about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things was being said out in the open, and so I'm gonna ask Rad, how do you feel about that aspect of it, right? Not the Matt Ariza, because that's gonna take care of it. So we let the legal system do what the legal system does.
Yeah, I got what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say was whatever side of the fence you want is the side of the fence you want. If he should have got cut or not, but I think the thing I like was the decision, the quick decision, right? It wasn't like a week, 2 weeks. Either you kept him, you're gonna stick by him, or you're gonna cut him, and they cut him, and it was quick. So I like that decision. Now it's over. No, we don't got to deal with it no more. And if the team anything the team could use to come together is fine. I'm not gonna be against anything the team used to use it as a rallying cry or stuff like that, or come together. But my thing is that it was a quick decision. They made it and they moved on, as we should.
Absolutely. And for me, I think it's gonna be a good wrinkle. I don't think we need to hire a punter. I think we just need to go to season without a punter and just go for it every fourth down. No, seriously, I honestly think you could turn into a positive and just say, all right, we don't have a punter.
We're the Chargers now.
So don't worry. Yeah. So what? Don't worry about it. Let's not listen. Ken Dorsey, you got 4 downs. Period. Every time y'all touch the ball, you got 4 downs. Get us to the touchdown or get us a field goal, whatever.
Not to compare Little League to the NFL, but that happened in a Little League game I just watched on Saturday. They was going for it on 4th and 20 on their like 4-yard line. That set you up for disaster. That's why they lost 55-0.
Well, they were bad. They didn't have Josh Allen. Did they have Josh Allen on their team?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then.
Why would you turn the ball over to the defender on a 4-yard line?
Well, ask Madden. Ask people in Madden. I see all the time.
Yeah. I mean, what happens if you would have punted at 4 and 20? They'll get the ball at the 7. That punt wasn't going nowhere in Little League. Yeah. So,
well, with the punt guy. But anyways, I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna have to move on from the topic, but maybe that could be a good wrinkle. Shout out to Matt Barkley for filling in. But I guess you can say, where do I want to go? Listen, I've been burying the lead, because I know everybody wants to talk about this, right? So please, if you on, like and share so everybody can get into this conversation. Josh Allen, our beloved Josh Allen, NFL top 100 came in and he's at number 13, right? Last year he was top 10. We talked about it on the show. He's been ascending. In the playoffs, he had one of the best games we've ever seen in our lives from a quarterback perspective. But for whatever reason, they pushed him back. So I'm gonna give y'all the floor. I'm gonna go to Rad first. Rad, when you first seen it, what was your feelings?
I don't know. I wasn't too upset, I guess. Once I saw Herbert coming in at 40, I know he's younger, but when I saw Herbert coming at 40, I was like, I don't know if it's the players. They just decided, we're not going, obviously time was number one, but the love to quarterbacks is going to diminish a little bit. They want to put other positions, you know what I mean? Even though, because everybody know the quarterback position is the most important position. It gets love all the time. But once I saw, Herbert coming at 40 and how it was coming down, all the quarterbacks how it was coming, I was like, oh, it's gonna push, it's gotta push our guys down. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes. So I wasn't necessarily too mad about it. I'm more so, where is he at? In the quarterback ranking, he finished fourth in the quarterback ranking. He a top 5 quarterback. As long as you got him in the top 5, I would have him in the top 2 or 3. But as long as the players understand that he a top 5 quarterback, I'm cool with it, because obviously players value other positions higher, the ones that that get hit all the time and not being cleaned up. Everybody mad at the quarterbacks now because you can't touch them, you can't hit them, so obviously they're gonna be inflated. The numbers gonna be inflated from now on. They're gonna be do whatever they want. Josh Allen type quarterback gonna do whatever he want. So I know the players definitely feel some type of way about that. So other positions gonna continue to get pushed up like that. So I was fine with it. He a top 5 quarterback. That's what I was looking for.
So Mike, let me ask you this. Fair is fair, right? Josh Allen, he had an amazing game to end the season, right? Something that we've never seen before. But at the end of the day, during the regular season, Josh Allen had some down games, albeit maybe because the line wasn't doing their jobs, whatever. But at the end of the day, we lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like we didn't put up anything. He was god awful. Like he had some stinkers, like some terrible games. I was calling him out. So is it a situation where they're right and docking him and pushing him back? Do you think that, or am I overreacting?
No, I think it's fair. I think they vote on this before the playoffs.
Okay.
So the Patriots game and the Chiefs game didn't come into account.
Right.
So I mean, the Jacksonville game was a stinker. I mean, everybody have stinkers, but if you just look at Josh Allen was top 10 last year, and his numbers regressed some. Right, they were still amazing numbers, but from what he did last year, I think he regressed a little bit. So it went down to 13. I'm not mad, and to be honest, I'm not mad because other positions don't really get love. Like when we talk MVP, Josh Allen is the MVP favorite right now. So when we talk MVP, Super Bowl MVP, stuff like that, it normally goes to the quarterback. So if Jonathan Taylor wanted to be up there and be a top 5 player, but he got Matt Ryan as his quarterback, so he feel better. I mean, that's cool. Do your thing. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey, he on there. Who else? Cooper Kupp, he was in there. So I mean, it's good players in there. If you had Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, you won your fantasy league. So I'm not mad at them. And Josh being 13, I think it's cool.
Interesting, Matt. You are a Josh Allen apologist. So is it a situation? It is. So is it a situation when you look at the list, right? He's on 13. When you look at the people above him, can you point out people and saying there's no way they're better than Josh Allen?
Oh yeah, and I mean in the top 100 players in the league, I think you just named the fact that he had some stinkers throughout the year. I think Pat Mahomes had way more stinkers throughout the regular season.
So he's better than Pat Mahomes.
I think he's better than Pat Mahomes right now, and I also think he had a better regular season as far as being a better player for his team. Patrick Mahomes put the Chiefs in a lot of situations to lose last year, where Josh Allen was the reason why we won a lot more games.
I can't go with that. The Bills had a way better defense than the Chiefs, and the Chiefs finished higher than us for record-wise.
Yeah, but even still, I would still say that Josh. If we take Josh,
Josh Allen apologist, y'all.
It's not being an apologist.
It is.
I don't disagree with.
Let's just go with 9 though. I think he's better than. I think he's a better player than like a Jalen Ramsey. Like Jalen Ramsey is an important player, but what I'm saying, he's an All-Pro. But I think that you could put Josh at 9 or put him in the top 10 over a guy like Ramsey. You can't I'll even go as far to say is you could put Josh. The only players that I see that you could put above Josh in the top 100 are Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Donald, and TJ Watt. Those are the 3 most important players to their teams in football. I think Josh is right behind those guys.
I don't personally think you could put Jonathan. I would just say this at the onset: you can't put Jonathan. They didn't make it to the playoffs.
But he's the best player in football.
I don't care.
Every time he touches the football, every time he touches the football, he has a chance to score a touchdown.
If you're the best player in football, you make it to the playoffs. Period. That doesn't even that's fundamentally does not make sense. You cannot be the best at something and not make it.
I hear what you're saying for years.
Barry Sanders was not the best player in football. That's just not true. You don't even consider him that. No, nobody says that.
All right.
No, you just say he was a great talent.
No, I said LT was playing back then.
Like, what are we saying? But Mills, I asked Matt that. So do you think Josh Allen should be 13, or can you?
I think it should have been top 10, or even if you kept him at 10.
I understand.
You know what I mean, yeah.
I'm saying, Mills,
10,
is Josh Allen better than Cooper Kupp? Yes or no?
Yeah, but if
is Josh Allen better than Aaron Donald?
I mean, it depends on what it's based off of.
And just say yes or no, Mills.
It goes by impact. So the only person, to be honest with you, I think just to cancel all the stuff you about to say is nonsense. Okay. But the only person I like Josh at 13 by looking at that list and the impact that those players played, except for Derrick Henry because he missed half the season.
But when he played,
he was a monster. So Josh being at 13, from looking at that list, I can see why they put him there, and I can understand it. I have no knock against it because the players in front of him are valid players. They all had great seasons.
Yes.
But my thing is, if they was projecting to this season, I would have a way bigger problem. I think based on last year, looking at that list, I'm not. It's like, all right, Josh, this is the year where Josh is like, all right, I am the best player in football. I think this is the year. I'm saying that now. Last year, I wasn't saying that. I was saying, yo, we might got that guy. I think we got the guy. Yo, he becoming the guy. This year, he's the guy. I would be like, next year moving forward, he a top 5 overall player next year moving forward because of this year. He gonna be MVP, top 5. You know, I think he gonna be MVP. I think next year, top 100, he gonna be in the top 5, if not number 1.
So basically, everybody besides Matt is saying that 13 is fine. Like that, like he's supposed to be there. He should be there.
He a top 5 for me. Where do we rank
quarterbacks?
Yeah, he was top 5, and I think he was a top 5 quarterback last year.
Okay,
I don't know.
Right.
I don't love Brady at 1, but that's just me. I thought Josh would have been higher than Brady last year. But
I think Brady was definitely like a send off. This is last one.
5,000, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give y'all that. Like Tom Brady was 10 times better than Josh Allen, y'all, and he's like 89. Like we gotta stop that. Like he's legit. Like he's like,
bro. If you out there,
I mean, but at some no, that's not fair. Context matters. Like if somebody's older, somebody's like we.
If I'm being I don't care.
We give people passes because they're young, so we got to give people props because he's doing something that literally Vinny Testaverde. Like
if I want to be objective, I think Tom Brady was a better quarterback than Josh last year.
Well,
consistently game to game. I don't think Josh. I mean, the low lows that Josh has, Brady didn't have those low lows.
I'm just saying, like
he had a high, obviously, but he had those lows.
Number wise, that's not true. You have no basis.
It is number wise. He was top 2 in all categories. Tom Brady. What do you mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady was better than him. All right, but that's fine. We don't have to debate Tom Brady against Josh Allen.
How about last year? This year is not the case.
We don't have to do that because I mean the proof is in the pudding. So let's do this. Let's do this because we got to get to Matt's 53-man roster projection. We've been promising that for the last couple of shows. That's the big thing going on now, right? Sean McDermott, Brandon being there, going to make the cut, right? Like it's a tough time around Bills, camp, right? You know what I'm saying? So prayers to all the players involved, right? Because this is a great time for some players. This is a bad time for some players. But with that being said, we want you to go to overduebillspod.com and look at Matt's great, amazing article, 53-man projection article. But with that being said, what I wanted to do is go to some points of contention, right? Some points of contention. Let's do it. Because obviously quarterback is what it is, right? Case Keenum is going to be the backup. We move on. I want to go to running back. I want to go to the running back room. And our guy Matt says he has 4 running backs being on the team. Devin Singletary, James Cook, Zach Moss, and Taiwan Jones. Now, might I add, Zach Moss has been in trade talks. The Bills have debunked it, not the trade talks. People have been asking for him, but the Bills said they have no interest right now in trading him. That's what my sources say, that the Bills have no interest in trading Zach Moss, but he's been out there. Teams have been asking for him. So Matt, I want you to explain your thought process of the Bills cutting Duke Johnson and Raheem Blackshear, who I think Raheem Blackshear is one of the best running backs in the league right now. But I want to hear your thought process, and I want everybody to react to Matt's thought process. All right, Matt, you have the floor.
Yeah, so, like I said in the article, I mean, going into training camp, Zach Moss was off. He was cut for me, right? But going through it, he had a good camp. He ran the ball good in the games that he appeared in. And he just, he gave himself an opportunity to show that he could play on this team still, and I think he could be a goal line guy, whatever, and he proved that he does belong. Now Blackshear, on the other hand, he did have some good games, some good runs, or whatever in preseason, but he's a guy that I'm pretty sure that I know we talked about, like, if Christian Benford hits waivers, he's out. Blackshear is not one of those guys, at least to me. So I think he'll be a practice squad guy, and we could see him later on in the season. Duke Johnson he had his shot, and he's going to be a guy that's going to get picked up by another team. He's going to be able to play in the NFL. He's just not going to play here.
Interesting. So how do you?
My bad. Taiwan Jones. We re-signed him as a special teamer, so I think he's safe for that reason also.
So yeah, how do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I think I would say this. Look, we didn't talk about the preseason game, but if we go back, I would give Sam credit here. I watched Blackshear play. Facts. He runs hard. He's a tough runner. He's a football player you want to see play. He like when you see him play, he runs tough. He's like one of them people just run. He would. As far as special teams, as far as somebody who would just be on the team because he gonna play. He return kicks. He probably can tackle. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. He like an all-purpose type of back. Facts. You know what I mean? Now, is he a better running back than Zach Moss? So I'm not saying that. But he's a tough, physical guy. So I would want somebody like him on the team as far as a culture and just how he plays. So I like Blackshear. I would give Sam credit when I watched him. He was playing against threes and fours, but when you see somebody play, he was the best player out there. Like, he was tough. So I like that. And as far as everything else, I think the running backs is gonna be good. I think Taiwan Jones is a special teamer. I think Zach Moss is gonna make the team. Obviously, James. I think now who's gonna suit every week? Now Zach Moss is gonna be it similar to last year when he's gonna have some not play because like I said, a Blackshear, a Taiwan, they're gonna play special teams. They can return kicks. He can't. He's a like if something happened to Singletary, obviously we want him to be there to be the first and second down back. And James Cook is definitely the third down back. So his role is solidified. Singletary's role is solidified. I think Zach Moss got to figure out, to continually to make that 53 every week. What he gonna do? So we'll see.
If it's the Bills, clearly from my sources, first of all, Zach Moss is making the team.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he should. I think he's a good back.
It's not he should. He is.
No, I'm saying.
If teams are actively calling the Bills saying we want Zach Moss and they're saying no, we have no interest in trading him, then clearly they have plans for Zach Moss being on the team. Yeah. So Zach Moss is definitely we know one person who's on the team is Zach Moss, right? But you were saying what you were.
Oh, when Ryan was talking about Blackshear, I would say we kind of had that little conversation before when we had the rugby player. He was a hard runner.
I don't know.
When he was going against second and third string players, he was the best on the field. We kind of saw it before, in my opinion.
Blackshear looks like a runner. Like, he's a running back that was in Little League. He was a running back. When he got to high school, he was a running back. And you know what I'm saying? And when he got to college, he's a running back. Like, he's a running back. He's a running back. That he was bred to be that.
No, he's rugby.
Then you called him a rugby dude.
Yeah, you get you don't even know his name. He's just a rugby dude. That's how you know.
Yeah, Blackshear from Virginia Tech. He was starting running Virginia Tech. Like he's a running back. Rugby guy was trying to switch over to get some pay, and he didn't work.
But I do agree with rugby guy's not a running back.
But I do agree with what everybody was saying. I honestly think that although we don't run the ball a lot, I think the backfield would be like a three-headed monster. Because my sources are telling me that we're trying to we're trying to limit the amount of Josh Allen rushing touchdowns in the red zone. We want to pick a heavier package.
Wow, I didn't hear that.
And by looking at Zach Moss in the preseason, he can get in the end zone. He's running real hard in between the tackles. And I think he's one of those guys that you can put in the red zone between the 10 and 15-yard line and let him pound it in the end zone.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I got a question for Mike, but let me say to Ed Jackson, I will not reveal my sources, but I have a lot of people close to the team, so just know that they're right. But Mike, I want to ask you this, Mike, too, about the running back room, because obviously you've been a proponent of not running the ball at all, right? So do you think it's a situation that Brandon Beane is putting too much resources in the running back room, right? Because we spent the third round pick on James Cook. You know what I mean? A second round pick on James Cook. Zach Moss You know what I mean? Clearly they like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, people want him. Clearly they want him on the team. Devin Singletary. Like, so if we're gonna have 3 running backs suiting up every game, clearly, I mean, we four with Taiwan Jones or hopefully Raheem Blackshear. But I mean, like, so do you think are we putting too much resources in the running back room?
Well, I mean, yes. For me, once you drafted Singletary, I wouldn't took another running back for a couple years. I was just picking up Duke Johnsons and Blackshears. But that's me. That's not what we're talking about. I would say this: if McDermott is suiting up 4 running backs on game day, oh, help me, because how many tight ends are we suiting up? Three tight ends? Will we army? So for me, it's no way. To me, Zach Moss is break glass in emergency. I don't think we dress 4 running backs. I think we dress Singletary, Cook, Taiwan Jones for special teams. And then if somebody get hurt, Zach Moss, suits up. Or if Cook, if he fumbles 1 week, then it's Zach Moss and Singletary. I don't think there's any way that Zach Moss, Singletary, and Cook all play in the same game and in the real game. So that's where I stand.
Interesting. We want everybody to share this. Please share this because we're talking about the 53-man roster going through. Matt put out a great article on OverdueBillsPod.com. So please go look that out. This 53-man roster projection. We got our editor-in-chief here, Mike D, Mills, Rad, Matt. Preach. We here, y'all. We here for the people. But let's go to the next group of contention. That's the right receiver room. I mean, listen, I'm seeing some projections that say we're keeping 8 receivers, not including Shakir. But our guy Matt is telling us that we're keeping Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah Hodgins, Khalil Shakir, Jamison Crowder. Notable cuts: Marquez Stevenson, who's been hurt, and Jake Kumaro. Tanner Gentry, IR, and Neil Paul, enough said. So, Matt, I want you to can you let the people know your thought process, and then I need everybody to react from it. And if you're in the comments, let us know who you think is going to get cut.
Yeah, so after the Colts game, the Kumaro fumble, that was the cut for me right there.
Man,
his special teams value, and actually, I'll say this with the play of my guy, Game of Thrones character Balin Spector. I think you got to keep a guy on the roster like that, and he overtakes that that spot because he could be a help on the defense and can be a help in special teams, as opposed to where Kumaro would have really been just a value on the special team side. He really wouldn't have saw much of the wide receiver, and I don't think you give him a spot over a guy in Isaiah Hodgins, where he's been hurt the past couple of years, and when he now is healthy and given an opportunity, he's making plays and he's young. And he's, so that receiver room is very tough to call. But those guys, he's the casualty for me in that one, the most important casualty. And I was even going to go as far as Crowder, but that I had to keep him around for now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Crowder is definitely a trade candidate if somebody wants him.
Yeah,
I think Shakir, McKenzie, those guys like Hodgins, like when they play, like I haven't even seen Crowder play really. Have he played? Like when those guys I just named on the field, they making plays. They popping up. Hodgins caught the joint behind the dude back. He making tough catches. Shakir is a dog. Shakir is going to be on the field a lot by the end of the season. Like he is a dog. And I think somebody like Crowder, I think he got hurt early on, so it was tough for him. But these young guys, I mean, you got to move on for him. He not a type that's gonna play special teams. He's a receiver through and through. If you ain't playing receiver, bro, we got enough young guys that potentially can play. Shakir can return kick. Hodges maybe he might have to, you know what I mean? So I think Crowder gotta go. I think Crowder gotta get out of here. And he was fine on some fantasy teams for me a couple years ago, but somebody else can use him.
Y'all got me over here like crawling in my skin because I'm not normally like this, but like even with Blackshear, now we're talking about these young guys, and like I hear y'all, I do, but this is a Super Bowl or bust team. So do you go out there with you trade Zach Moss and hope Blackshear does this in a regular season, or do you roll out with Zach Moss? Do you hope Hodgins and Shakir do play well? Or do you roll out with a veteran and Crowder and just try to go get one for the year? I think that's where I'm torn. Like if Kumaro makes 4 plays on special teams, I mean, how many plays is Isaiah Hodgins going to make? I mean, is he going to play that much? I don't know. So that's where I'm torn. Like, who is going to impact us for this year? I know next year Hodgins and down the line may be better for us than Kumaro, but I'm so focused on winning a Super Bowl this year that if you tell me Kumaro can make a play on special teams, that would help. I don't know, man. I'm torn.
I'll say this. Kumaro should be cut. I mean, he should be. Fundamentally, Isaiah Hodgins is just a better receiver. Like it's like we like.
But it's more than just. It's more like what
No.
Saying. It's more than just.
I'm not.
They're not gonna play receiver every game.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that what I've seen from Isaiah Hodgins is that it's just he's a better receiver than Kumaro. I think Isaiah Hodgins is like he's like good. Like he could be a really really good receiver in the NFL. Like he
looked like he got
big
potential.
Frame.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a Michael Pittman type. I'm not saying he's that, but I'm just saying he reminds me of that big body, can catch contested balls. Like that's valuable. And every time we tried to get that receiver in Buffalo, and it didn't work out for us. Remember Hardy?
Calvin Benjamin.
It's just like what are we doing? But like Isaiah Hodgins come through the grapevine. He's come through our system, and I think he can be a great player. And at some point, like in order for us to find these great players, you got to keep them. Like you got to have these. Like Gabe Davis didn't get time, but then eventually, so he start getting time. He starts scoring touchdowns, and now Gabe Davis, according to Josh Allen, Matt says he's a top 10 player in the league. According to Josh Allen, he says he's 1B to Stephon Diggs, according to him. But Mills. How do you feel about the receiver
took
room?
3 years.
But that's my point.
I know, but if we're talking about Hodgins this year versus Kumaro, is Hodgins going to make a difference? That's all I was asking.
So the biggest thing for me though is that if we cut Hodgins or throw Hodgins on waivers, he's not going to be a Buffalo Bill anymore. Somebody's going to pick him up. So I'm rolling the dice on putting a Kumaro on the practice squad and maybe activating him down the line than putting Hodgins on the waiver wire and letting him get scooped up because he's going to get scooped up.
That's fair.
Mills.
Everybody made valid points. I kind of agree with pretty much what everybody said.
Thank you,
especially what Mike said. Like we're at that point right now that we're not. I don't want to say we're not thinking about the future, but we want to win a Super Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and those young boys ain't gonna get on the field. They were wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6. So we can use that spot to keep a veteran like Crowder, on the team to help mentor boys, give them some words of wisdom, encouragement on the field, and somebody you can throw on the field in a tough situation that you can kind of depend on because he's not a scrub. Like you said, right? He had a couple of injuries, but he's not a scrub. We know he can produce when he's on the field. So we can use that for a player like that.
Crowder.
I prefer us to use it with him compared to a Kumaro or a Hodgins. But Hodgins is a dog, and I would hate to lose him. But at this point, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. 3 years later, he might be on the field. But if he's not here, so be it.
My only pushback to that is as a general manager, you have to look at the future too. It's not you can't. The coach's job is today, right now. We're trying to win right now, but as the GM, you have to look. You have to peek out and look in the future. You gotta
right,
now,
but
what you said, you gotta weigh that. You gotta weigh what can you do for me right now compared to what can you potentially do me in the future. Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree, but you gotta definitely. It's not all you don't. I mean. Yes, you put all your chips in, but it's still like it's a delicate balance you got to play as a GM.
Well, what our roster we have right now, I mean, our receiver group isn't old. I mean, minus Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's a little higher in his years, but McKenzie,
28, 29.
Yeah, that's our best player.
The Gabe Davises, Shakir. They're young, fairly young.
Hodgins, add Hodgins in there. That's the point. Like that's what I'm saying. Listen. Ken Dorsey just needs to be creative. Like if Hodgins can play us way on the field, he can play us way on the field. Like I'm just saying, like Jake Kumaro is just another guy. Isaiah Hodgins can be a good player in the league. Like that's just a fact. So you stick with the good players.
We're not looking at Kumaro for wide receiver. I don't care. I'm not worried about that at all.
I don't think losing him off special teams and
it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Putting in any player that will have another corner or another linebacker.
We're not putting this year anyway. Clearly,
like players are so much more. It's not the Brian Urlachers running down the field on kickoffs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Dudes like they're linebackers are a little bit more athletic now. They can play a little special teams.
So let's go to the next one. Real quickly. Let's do this real quickly. I just say yes or no. I don't want nothing else. Yes or no. Matt already gave his prediction. OJ Howard will make the team according to Matt. Rad, will OJ Howard make the team? Yes or no? It's a yes or no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mills, OJ Howard make the team.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Mike.
No.
Okay, so Mike saying no, and some people out there saying no. So we'll see.
We guaranteed him money. Like we guaranteed.
I know.
That's the keeping it for me. Is that Bean's trying to clear cap space, not trying to create more dead cap space.
Okay.
And OJ Howard is serviceable. You can sacrifice a Tommy Sweeney in the run game. You know what I mean? I know Rad hates OJ Howard.
He does.
He does. Big for nothing. But hey,
I've watched him multiple times do nothing, and he's still right. He probably watching this doing nothing. Probably not watching this, but he probably not over there doing nothing.
But listen, like and share this so OJ can watch this. Let's move. Listen, because we got to get through this. We want to get off in a good time. Because Matt has a surprise, right? And I'm just gonna go right to it. Matt has a surprise, and I was very surprised when I read this. We go to the defensive end room. That was something that we've all been talking about. Our D ends, obviously, Matt. His 53-man roster projection gives us Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, Shaq Lawson, a.k.a. Sack Lawson, and Mike Love. Matt is cutting AJ Epineza. Listen, I've been talking about this for a long time. But, Matt, just quickly go through your thought process so we can react to it.
Well, it's just what have you done for me lately, right? Mike Love was on the field a lot preseason. He got a lot of looks, and he's one of those guys that he provided that shock value. Then he showed flashes of athleticism, showed that he can play in the rotation. He's not going to play a whole lot, but in this rotation, AJ Epineza is not either. So, you want to make a splash right now and show the locker room, hey, what can you do for me lately? AJ, your time's up.
Y'all think that we're going to let go a second round?
Nah, Matt tripping. Matt tripping.
Okay.
Matt, did you hear Brandon B and how somber he was when he had to trade Cody Ford?
Yeah.
I gotta go back and look at the film, man. I don't know what if he lose AJ Epineza in the same season. What are you doing with our second round picks?
Hey, man, you're striking gold late. That's all it is. Striking gold late and undrafted, I guess. I mean, look at our receiver room. We don't got nobody above a fifth rounder in our receiver room right now. So you're striking gold. Diggs is a fifth rounder, and he's one of the best players in the NFL.
Listen, the defensive end room is going to be something that we have to look at. And also, even the quarterback. I just want to go through this real quickly. Kyrie Elam, Teron Johnson, Christian Benford, Dane Jackson, Cam Lewis, and Saron Neal. I don't know. I've seen a lot of projections that don't have Cam Lewis and Saron Neal. Some people saying we're going to pick somebody up. We don't know. But I do want to ask Rad and Mills this before we get off this show. Rad and Mills, do you think are you ready at this point to say you trust Brandon Beane to the utmost, right? So whatever him and Sean McDermott do, boom, you're moving forward with it.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
I rock with him.
Okay.
I think the progression has been great, and I'm looking forward to the future.
That's enough said. At the end of the day,
he drafted Shakir. I'm a Shakir fan.
He
drafted Shakir. I love him. I think he's gonna be a starter in a year or two. He's gonna be super productive for us. So I'm all for him. Brandon Beane, know what he's doing.
At the end of the day, right? That's all we have to fall back on. They're the ones that make the decisions, right? You know what I'm saying? So if we put our trust in them, then let's see, right? It's been leaking. Stuff has been leaking, and we're highly anticipating. Hopefully by tomorrow, we get all the cuts, and we'll see who made this 53-man roster and who didn't make the other teams. Maybe we can pick somebody up. But with that being said, listen, we had an amazing show. Shout out to the guys who's on here. Shout out to the comments. We appreciate all of you, man. OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com. Please go there right now. Go look at Matt 53-man roster. Get your merch. Hurry up and do it. We got all shapes and sizes, and y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey. We out.